All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue going through our Fire Academy series here, utilizing South Metro Fire Rescue's Fire Academy series. We're currently on week 4, so we're going to dive straight into it and get into the video. Be sure to subscribe to South Metro Fire Rescue if you haven't. They have a lot of great resources available to you to help aid you in your recruitment process.
Water, go, go, go!
What's up, everybody? It is week number 4 out here at the South Metro Fire Rescue Training Academy. That means these recruits are a quarter of their way through the entire academy process. Pretty crazy to think about. But this week they are working on some testing, including their practical test number 1, as well as their consumption test number 1. So the practical test really is going over a bunch of different skills that they've learned so far in the past few weeks of academy. So take a look. Go!
So like I've told you in previous videos, not every fire academy is going to be conducted exactly the same to the T, but there's going to be a lot of similarities. I know for us, we have 3 phases when it came to our skills that we were delegated to perform. So for instance, them utilizing, taking a plug, your fire academy may take a plug differently. You guys may have different techniques that you utilize. Obviously, they have this certain technique they use, and if you go back to my videos, I actually have a walkthrough of taking a plug on a captain's and engineer side, and you can see that the way we do things is different than how they do things. So based on your specific fire academy, when it comes to your testing phases, you're going to have, whether it's, 3 phases like us or however they do it, you're going to have, a walkthrough phase where they're kind of teaching you and kind of mentoring you through everything. They're going to have like a hands-on phase where you're just getting a lot of repetition, a lot of practice. And then when you get to your final evaluations is when everything really counts, okay? So you're going to have a full evolution. You're going to be timed, and you have to meet the criteria per, your fire academy and per regulations, state and national regulations for firefighting.
Checking for overhead obstructions. There are none. Looks like good ground over here. Looking for 5 rungs above the sill, above the.
Something quick here, just like I said in the previous video, there's fire departments out there that in their fire academy, they teach you how to throw, a 24-foot plus ladder as a single firefighter. For our particular fire department, our fire academy, they didn't teach us that, how to do it. We did 2 firefighter, and when it came to like a 35-foot ladder, we had, 3 firefighters. So depending on your fire department, you may be trained in this particular skill and have the ability to do that. But in the grand scheme of things, safety is everything. If you have the manpower, utilize it, and make sure that you're not getting hurt. And like I said, safety is everything. Longevity and durability is massive when it comes to this long fire career. So take care of yourself.
To be in line with this bar right here. So see how it's catching on the bottom right there and on this side. So if we just loosen it, straighten it out, you should be golden.
Today the skills they were tested on was a donning drill, a hydrant drill. They had a chainsaw blade change as well as starting procedures. They did a throwing an extension ladder with a roof ladder, and then they also had a station where they were doing ropes and knots and hoisting tools. They've got skill sheets that they have to perform. It's similar to what they'll do when they go out on probation when they're online. We as RTOs select a handful of different skills and then they are tested on those. It's a pass-fail test and it goes into their final grade for the exam. Today all of them did wonderful and they did a super job. The crews that were already done and the recruits, when they had some downtime, they were on the side making sure their hand tools looked good. It's to teach them pride in what they have and what they're given by the citizens and what we use on a daily basis.
That's absolutely massive what he was just saying there. Just the ending there with the whole, taxpayers' dollars is going to outfit you and equip you with what you need as a firefighter. Yeah, you're out there, making a difference, saving lives, and just making the biggest impact that you can for the citizens you serve. But then again, taxpayers are, equipping us with all the luxuries and things that we have so we can do our jobs well. So taking pride in everything that you possibly can when it comes to your equipment is vital. So it's amazing to see that these RTOs are teaching these new recruits and these future senior firefighters, future captains and chiefs, like, hey, here's the standard, here's our minimum. We need to progress and make sure that we're continue to set the standard higher, set the bar higher for the next generation of firefighters. So when they come in, they know, like, hey, we leave the fire service better than we found it. We leave the fire academy better than we found it. And when it comes to our equipment, that's our lifeline. Okay, so if we're not taking care of our equipment, how can we expect it to, help us and aid us whenever we're out, fighting structural fires or whatever the case is. And then also he touched on, like, the entire group of, recruits did a great job in their testing evaluations, which is a pass fail. Whenever you see, whenever you hear testing and whenever you think about the fire academy and all these different things that you got to learn and do, what I'm here to tell you is don't overwhelm yourself right now. Okay. When you get there, you're still going to be super stressed and anxious about everything. But as you get in the fire academy and as you see how your days are structured, it's all structured to help you become successful. Okay. And yeah, you may struggle here and there with certain things. That's why you have your, fellow academy brothers and sisters and your RTOs there to help aid you and prepare you for what you need. But just know that everything's structured in a way to where you get so much work with it that it becomes second nature for you. Just like brushing your teeth or, taking a shower or putting your clothes on. It's just like you do it so much and it's so repetitive and monotonous, to a certain degree that whenever you do get in your testing phase, yeah, you're going to be a little nervous and anxious, but it's something that's second nature for you. So I just wanted to let you know that whenever you get in the academy, that's what it's going to be like for you. You're going to be successful, okay? You just got to put the work in and really be focused.
My name is James Hardy, and I'm one of the strength coaches here at South Metro Fire Rescue. We're doing consumption tests, so basically we strap them up to air and we have them do a little bit of exercises and trying to get them used to working on air and being tired while they're working on air. And we can kind of take a look and see how they're doing, how long they can last on that air, how much work they can do on that air, so that when they get into a real situation where they actually need that air, they're more comfortable with it. it's not so much a competition between each other, it's more of a competition between themselves. We're trying to see how many segments they can actually get, and they can compare that the next time they do it to how many segments they got this time. Having that in their mind and that mentality of, I've only got X amount of air and I know that I'm going to burn through this air at some point. That's kind of the mental aspect that we're trying to go for, and just get them used to when that vibe alert goes off, when that amber light comes on, which lets them know, hey, I'm starting to run out of air, to get comfortable in that position and understand this is how much air I have left. I know that if I can drag a sled and hit a hammer with this much air, I know that I can move around in a fire or move around in whatever situation they need to be in under those conditions.
We covered this a couple videos back, talking about the importance of, understanding your equipment and being comfortable, very familiar with your equipment. So the point that he made about it's not a competition between, the candidates themselves, it's a competition between the individual candidate. Okay, so just like anything in life, you have strengths and weaknesses, and you have to learn what your capabilities are. How strong are you? How much can you squat? How far can you run? How fast can you run 100 yards, or how long can you run, a mile? What's your best time, or whatever the case is? That way you kind of set a standard for yourself. So the next time you do tackle that same task, you can see if you've progressed and you can do better than you did previously. Now with this one, it's so important that you become very familiar with, say you have a full air tank, your SCBA is full, you're getting ready to perform, some firefighter specific tasks. So it's highly important to be cognizant of, first of all, your breathing and your movements, but to be very cognizant about, okay, how fast am I blowing through a bottle? What can I do to help, aid myself in kind of conserving some of that air so I can work longer? Am I overexerting myself? Are my movements, am I swinging the sledgehammer all out of control? Am I not letting the tools do their work? Yeah, you got to think about all those things. And when you're in the fire academy and you're on cloud nine and you're super energetic, it's going to be hard to do. But as time goes on, especially whenever you get on the job and into the field, it's going to start to become second nature, where you're going to know, okay, here's where I'm at. I know if I have a full tank, I can do, X amount of work, and you're very comfortable and familiar with your equipment. So, hey, I'm going to let the chainsaw do the work. I'm not going to try to muscle it and manhandle it or whatever the case is. Okay. So I just quickly wanted to throw that in your head. So it's something that you could be aware of, getting into the fire academy. And if you can actually apply it in the fire academy, and if you can start working on it and focus on that mental aspect of it, it's going to be massive for you throughout your career.
I'm Lieutenant Rod Rogers. I work on Tower 45 B shift, and I was fortunate enough they asked me to come down and assist with the Forcible entry day today. They're working on the differences on how to force an outward swinging door versus an inward swinging door. And then we've got two other stations. One is cutting the bars off of a window, and the other one is learning how to cut a garage door. All of these are obviously different types of forcible entry that we may be tasked with on any type of a structure fire. Obviously, if we can't make entry into a structure and get a hose line in place, it makes it more difficult to be able to put the fire out. So forcible entry, pretty important part of fire tech.
Should be good. Capture. Capture low.
There's another resource I want to introduce you to that can give you direct insight when it comes to specific firefighter skills like ventilation, working with power tools, hose lay evolutions and stuff. It's through the Phoenix Fire Department in Arizona. And if you can come on here, it's phoenixfireops.com. You can go through command stuff, and they have a bunch of different videos that'll pop up, equipment reviews, command officer stuff, engine stuff, ladder operations. Here goes, fire recruit stuff. So this would be right up your alley when it comes to all the different training that you can expect throughout the fire academy. And keep in mind, it may not be specific to what your particular fire department does, but there's a lot of similarities, and just having a visual of just different ways of doing things can help further add resources to your tool belt when it comes to your fire career. So yeah, you can come through here, fitness stuff, hose lays, SCBA stuff, throwing ladders, tools, ventilation, and they have just a bunch of different videos here. This is something that we utilized a lot when I was in the fire academy, and it really helped a lot. So make sure you utilize this. It's phoenixfireops.com. This is with the Phoenix Fire Department in Arizona.
It's a metal door with a metal frame, inward swinging.
Obviously, firefighter ambition, we're not focused on tactics and strategies and all that stuff. We're mainly specific to the firefighter testing process and the recruitment process. But I just wanted to touch on just like this firefighter's body position. Okay, so remember I was just talking about learning how to utilize your fire equipment and allow the equipment to actually do its job. That way you're not, over muscling or trying to overpower or manhandle your equipment, because all it's going to do is wear you down, and it's going to wear you out when it comes to utilizing your SCBA. You're going to burn through your air very fast because you're going to tire yourself out. So as you can see, this firefighter's position here, trying to get a good angle, trying to get the legs under. That way you kind of just almost resting that saw on yourself and just allowing the saw to just cut through that wire or that bar and allow it to do its job, and not sitting here trying to muscle it up and stuff. I'm just letting you know that because I was that firefighter. I was in there trying to, that fire recruit at the time, trying to muscle everything, and it was just wearing me out. And a lot of us did it. But then, they teach you, hey, calm yourself down, breathe, just position yourself in a comfortable, safe manner, and allow the saws and your equipment to do its job. And everything flows nicely. You can serve air. You're not beating yourself, down as much, and you're going to be able to, work on your specific tasks on the fire ground a little bit longer because of that.
Angle to be towards the inside of the pole. The goal is to be making a larger hole on the back so that we can force this through, punch it through. So utilize as much of the pike as you can.
Drive. Boy, stop.
Right here, this bar is connected, so you're making contact with that tool. You're pushing, see how it's spring loaded in there? Once you get two sides broke free, then you can just grab this and open it up and it'll break those other bolts off, or it'll be open and bent out enough if we need it for a victim, or like we talked to Firefighter, that needs to be removed.
So just some finishing points on this is I just wanted to commend South Metro Fire Rescue for putting up these videos. This is huge. It's cool to see what they offer their fire recruits through their academy. And like I told you, not all departments are going to be the same. My particular fire academy, we were decently sized. We didn't have all the same equipment and resources that this particular fire department has available. We had what we had, and we did the best we could. But just know that utilizing this as a reference and a resource is huge. So you can kind of see, hey, what you can expect per your fire academy, and just kind of start thinking ahead of time. That way, when you do get your fire academy, it's not so much of a shock, like, oh, I've never seen that before. I mean, you kind of seeing certain things take place, and everything that they're doing can be something that you can experience or that you will experience throughout your fire career. Okay, whenever it comes to structural firefighters, forcible entry, victim rescue, self-rescue, all these different things. Okay, so really take pride in subscribing to South Metro Fire Rescue. Take some time throughout your days and weeks to review their content and just become more familiar and become a student. Continue to be a lifelong learner when it comes to your fire career. Okay, it's not just about being successful through the testing process and through the fire academy. It's about constantly, working on your craft, working on your skills, staying up to date with the latest and greatest, so you can be the best firefighter that you can be. Okay. With all that being said, I want you to continue to work hard, stay consistent, and I'll catch you in the next one. Good luck with your firefighter.